Welcome to OpenPDM integration for PROSTEP's digital thread platform for aerospace and defense. My name is Brian Scouten, Director of Technical Presales for PROSTEP Inc. And in this presentation, we'll be going through the technology and processes of how OpenPDM enables integration across your enterprise and your product lifecycle systems. PDM has been around for 25 years, starting with automated PDM to PDM synchronization at German automotive OEMs, and then quickly moving into other use cases like PLM, ERP synchronization, data collaboration with partners or joint ventures, system migration, information linking with OSLC, ALM system support, MBSE support, cloud enablement with a change of architecture to a microservices model, and now a digital thread platform. So enabling different services together with the other products underneath the digital thread platform, and also enabling software as a service and iPaaS type solutions. OpenPDM comes in 3 different flavors, and the one we're going to talk mostly about today is OpenPDM Integrate on the left. And that's a fully flexible solution where you can have different services for maybe batch process translation or a BPMN style workflow engine, coupled with off-the-shelf connectors for various systems that enables you to really bring solutions quickly and standardize kind of the approach and the data that needs to transfer between these different systems, kind of enabling that full featured digital thread and replication between these different systems. We also offer OpenPDM Migrate that has those staging databases, high performance interfaces for migration, as well as best practices for how to operate a migration. And it also comes in rental models so that, just for the duration of the migration, you need the software. And then OpenPDM Collaborate, and that's our a solution for joint ventures or partner platforms where you can then filter for IP as well as do an import prognosis, understanding what needs to be exported and what needs to be imported. And then also transform data if necessary into a partner-specific format. OpenPDM has been supporting a wide variety of commercial off-the-shelf connectors for a long time. So you see at the bottom, we've got different PDM and PLM connectors like PTC Windchill or Siemens Teamcenter, Dassault 3D Experience, as well as others. On the right-hand side, we've got ALM and MBSE systems like Teamwork Cloud and Polarian, Jira, and Codebeamer. On the top, we have an OpenPDM ship that deals with ship formatted CAD data to integrate with PLM, ERP systems, other data sources as well. And on the left, the ability in order to transform data and output it, right? So like STEP Toolkit, XML and JSON formats, an OSLC adapter to make any of these systems an OSLC provider, and everything is bundled with RESTful web services as well. You see that we've also been supporting these things for a while. So 2 examples are 3DX and Teamcenter, and supporting 3DX since Matrix 1 a long time ago, as well as Teamcenter since the IMEN days. So a long-term support for these, and then in the future, support for future updates of these systems as they mature, kind of enabling you to then plug and play the new connector into your enterprise when you're updating your systems. At a high level, the architecture looks something like this, where you've got an orchestration layer in the middle, and that has different services. The BPMN workflow that you see here is provided by the process server, but you could also do data exchange services and batch transformation services and other things like that. On the bottom left, you've got the set of connectors, and those all interface with that orchestration layer to provide then data in a format that they could use with a standardized interface and query language that abstracts the data from the bottom. So we're not looking at Windchill RMI or 3D Experience XPDM or something like that, or SAP BOPI, but we're abstracting that into an OpenPDM orchestration with a standard RESTful interface and a standard data model. That then can be used for different translation services, mapping services, data exchange, and other types of services you see on the lower right. And you can monitor it and administer it with the OpenPDM monitoring. And these can be triggered either by automated events like user exits from maybe a release in the system or web service hooks, things like that. Could also be cron job, email notification manually processed from a trigger within a system. All sorts of different triggers could be used in order to kick off these events in order to transfer data. Typically, we want to do things more or less in real time, and we want to do them fit to the business process and automation that doesn't need a manual trigger if that's possible. Yeah. So in 2019, in order to enable a more flexible deployment and modern approach, we switched to a microservices model. So each of these services have a foundation of a OpenPDM framework that enables some basic capability like RESTful interfaces and authorization capability. And then can be deployed in a flexible way. Failover and parallelization for performance are available. And you can see a wide variety of different services as well. So we use a registry, so you can aggregate everything in there. We've got Delta and comparison services, connectors, CAD controllers that are used for a PLM and CAD type of API, a mapping service, a batch process, transformation, workflow services, and OSLC providers. So quite a few different services available through here, as well as more with our digital thread platform. So each of these system connectors provided through OpenPDM can query systems and read and write data at really a granular level, providing the ability in order to search for a specific business object and then expand relationships to see what would be connected to that, and then build out structures. And those are maybe different types of business objects like changes or parts or materials or anything really that's within a system. They are supporting the official vendor API, so that means that authentication is supported through that API. We respect the customization of those systems, through the normal native customization processes, because no two systems are ever the same. And we have a template that can be then extended in order to implement another system in case we don't support something like an internal system that you've developed and are using today. The OpenPDM process engine enables either simple or very complex workflows depending on your needs to synchronize data between two systems or more. In this example, we've got 3D Experience on the left and SAP on the right. It works by triggering. So maybe in 3D Experience, you have a release of engineering or manufacturing data that has an automatic trigger to create the process in the process server. So the trigger being step 1, step 2 being the BPMN background process being created. It'll then use a connector to export the data and the files. It'll then use the mapping service in order to do the mapping, and then do the import with the other connector in order to import the data. And all the logs and protocol of the process are then contained within the process server. So a little demo of OpenPDM, starting here at the registry or discovery service. You can see different connectors that we've configured to be part of this platform. And so there are various connectors like Teamcenter, SAP, Windchill, as well as other services like transformation services, mapping services, and other things. Looking at a Teamcenter connector, you can do some configuration here and also validate data like checking connections and querying for data. There are specific Teamcenter type of mappings, so understanding what can then be queried for, different searches configured from Teamcenter, and different ways to walk down structures. So looking at business object and relationship models so you can automate processes for export and import. You can also check and query for data. So logging into a system through this interface, and really this is just for testing or doing implementation, understanding attributes and data structure. So we can query Teamcenter and we can find this item revision, and you can see the internal format that OpenPDM is mapping data to. The O for object, R for relationship, and then the product structure that starts at an item revision, has a BOM view revision, and then goes to another item revision, and then further down that way, and structured in that type of fashion. We can then also compare that to a Windchill connector. So logging into a Windchill connector, you can also do the same type of configuration. So looking at the export configuration, understanding the Windchill type of objects and relationships, import configurations, and then also query for data within Windchill. And we're going to go ahead and query for something that's similar, this DW data, so we can compare it. In this case, it's a Windchill gear part, but you can see that the data is in an object and relationship format, and there's a structure here as well that looks a lot like the Teamcenter structure, but it's in a Windchill flavor versus a Teamcenter flavor. So when you get it into this object and relationship model, it makes it very easy to exchange the data between these systems. You can export from one, map, and then import to another. We can then also take a look at the process engine. So this is where you deploy those BPMN processes to from a client process modeler. In this case, you can see that there's been some processes run on this. One of them has an error. You can go ahead and restart it from that Actions tab if you think that you've corrected with the issue with the error. You can jump into it and see what's wrong with the process, like the service was down, so you're not able to do that. And then you can see that it might be back up as well, and then go ahead and restart that for some basic administration. You can also take a look at different performance of a process. So looking at an example, Windchill to Teamcenter synchronization process of this Mars rover data, you can see the different steps within the swim lanes, the log files that show before and after results, so results for things like the mapping or the import process, like what was then created in the system, and other things as well from that service. Also with OpenPDM, but also our other products, we have standardized interfaces from REST that then you can use in order to do the same operations that we do. So that's where that open comes for OpenPDM, that we want to enable you in order to do the same stuff that we do. And we do that with this inbuilt documentation. So with Swagger, you can test out and find the business objects or export files or import data, do the other things that OpenPDM does internally through just the RESTful interface within your enterprise. And finally, remember, the PROSTEP is here to help. So if you've got a challenge, you're looking for a solution, send us an email, infocenter@prostep.com, and maybe we could help you kind of steer you in the right direction for strategy or propose a solution based on OpenPDM software. We've been doing this for a long time, and we've got a global organization, over 100 consultants, and really tested commercial grade software. So please reach out. Again, infocenter@prostep.com.